about to do my makeup while I eat my breakfast and talk to you about Chain of Gold, because I read Chain of Gold this weekend and I didn't vlog that much. I feel like it is a very, like, if you're a beginner when it comes to like fantasy and stuff like that, the book was a little bit complicated, especially like for me, like English is like my second language, and I feel like it took me a while. Like I didn't even remember who was who, especially like Christopher, Charles, and Thomas. I feel like I was like mixing them up every single time. Like every single time I will see their name, I will have to stop and kind of like think about who they were. Like, wait, who's Christopher again? Wait, who's Charles again? You know what I mean? So I feel like it wasn't until like maybe 75% into the book that I finally was able to like know who was who. And I also feel like the plot is a little bit confusing. Like I still don't know what the plot was. Like I get it, Cordelia came into London and so did Grace, and there's James' situation with them, and there's Lucy and Jesse and all that. Like I understand like at least like the couples and stuff like that, like the romance, but like the actual plot, like I mean I didn't know anything. Like I feel like the point of the book is basically like to fight the demons, I guess, you know what I mean? But at the same time, you guys have to keep in mind that I've never read this story before, like anything about the shadow hunters. So like, you know, maybe people, like I know for a fact that like if Sulin Tan was releasing like a third book in the Daughter of the Moon Goddess series, like I don't even need to know what it is about for me to want to read it. So I can see how like maybe like Shadowhunter fans don't need a plot, you know what I mean? Like as long as they're fighting and like Cortana's there, you know what I mean? Like I feel like y'all be fine. So yeah, that's kind of like how I felt about the book as a whole. Okay, so those are the cons, but I still gave it 4.5 because there's way too many pros for me to even care about the cons. Like I don't care that I have to try a little bit harder to understand what's going on. I don't care because the story is so good. The characters, I love the characters. I feel like all the way up to 2022, I always felt like I was more of a plot driven person. Like I like plot driven stories more. Now I'm starting to question it, because am I though? I really like Sally Rooney, and I feel like she has zero plot in her stories. I love stories about characters, you know what I mean? Like I feel like my taste has definitely evolved this past year, because I feel like this book, it was like mainly like it's hard not to fall in love with a group of friends because they're so close yet so different. I feel like they're all super cool. Like I like every single one of them, even like Alistair, I think that's how you pronounce it. Like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with this guy? He is so rude. Like I get it, but like I don't know, I'm still rooting for him, you know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to say. Like even him, it's like I like him, you know what I mean? I did take notes as I was reading, so I'm gonna go over them with you. Alistair reacting to Cordelia warning him about Charles. I do not, like, I mean, that moment I wanted to like hop on the vlog and be like, what the heck is wrong with this guy? Because like she didn't say anything wrong. Why is he so pressed? Like, I mean, I get it if he's not out, I get it. But at the same time, like she was clearly telling you that she doesn't care about who you're into. That's not the point. The point is that he's trying to marry someone else. Anyways, I feel like maybe that's something that we will see why he got so upset later on. Honestly, I'm not really rooting for Alistair and Charles. I don't, like, I see that they fall in love in Paris and all that. Like, I get it. But at the same time, like, I don't know how I feel about them. Also, why is everyone aware of James' feelings for Cordelia except James and Cordelia. Like, I feel like if the fact that James loves Cordelia is so obvious that everybody knows about it, how come they're not aware? You know? Like, I don't know. I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining because I love an angsty story. Like, right now, I hope that if they do make it to the end together, I hope that they don't get together until, like, the last book. Because if they get together, like, now, which, I mean, the way the second book started, you might think that they're done. Like, their story is done. But no, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Also, I want to mention how I said that Grace gave me, like, betraying vibes. Like, she seriously, maybe it's because I'm like a Matthew fan and I think Matthew doesn't really like Grace that much, you know what I mean? But I feel like I really like Grace. I mean, I really like Matthew, and I feel like Grace, maybe it's like her mom, I don't know, but there's something about her that just gives me a weird vibe. Like, I feel like she's gonna end up like betraying them. And I mean, obviously, like, she's not the best character, we already know that at the end of the second book, but at the same time, like, James is still whipped, and it's like, is it because of you know what, or is it because he's actually whipped? You know what I mean? Like, I forgot to mention my products. I use the e.l.f. primer, I use the Wet n Wild photo focus foundation, I use the e.l.f. the creamy one, the Camo Creamy Concealer, Hydrating Camo Concealer. That's what I use. And then the Baked, how do you call it? Beauty Bakery flour powder. And then for my bronzer, I use my Ilia bronzer. I've had this for a while. Honestly, I don't use bronzer that much, which is why I haven't bought a new one, because I don't really care. And then this is like the only eyeshadow palette I have from ColourPop. This is literally all I need. I have this one too from the Animal Crossing collection. I use this whenever I'm doing purple eyeshadows because I literally, all I do is either brown or purple. That's it. I'm not gonna do anything crazy today because honestly, I'm just gonna go get my teeth cleaned. I am gonna try to go to like Once Upon a Child and stuff like that to try to sell some clothes. I also bought my plane tickets to go to Puerto Rico this summer and to Orlando. I am so excited. I feel like I already knew I was gonna go to Puerto Rico and Orlando this summer, but like the fact that I bought the ticket made it like official, you know? So it always hits different once you like, you know, swipe that card. So yeah, I was saying that Grace is suspicious. She's suspicious. She's giving me weird vibes. Chapter 15, The Whispering Room. You already know, I was dying. Like, dying the whole time. I was like, there's no way. There's no way it's about to happen. The moment they mentioned the desk, I knew. And you know what? I feel like even before they mentioned the desk, like, whenever they walked away alone, I knew. And then the desk, suspicious. And then, like, everything happened and I was like, yes, I loved it. I wrote, I love Matthew and Cordelia. Why is James in denial? Jesse Blackford saved Cordelia. Is he a ghost? That's when I was like, you know, trying to figure out what was going on with Jesse. Morale, ambiguous characters. How do you say that when like characters are like both good and bad? Like, I feel like that's the situation with like Alistair. Like, I feel like I'm supposed to hate him, but I don't. Like, I actually like him, so yeah. Also Lucy, like the fact that like the whole thing with Jesse, I was kind of like rooting for Lucy to be with Matthew, of course, because like I said, I love Matthew, but like clearly she's gonna go for Jesse, right? Like, am I making that up in my head? Like, am I tripping? At the end, we get like a marriage of convenience, which is one of my favorite tropes in any book, regardless of if it's romance or fantasy or anything. Like, I love a story about marriage of convenience. This was the Frameworker Brow Pomade in Black Brown by Tarte from their Big Ego line. I don't love it, but I like the Anastasia one better, but I feel like I don't want to support Anastasia, so I don't know, we'll see, because by the time I run out of that one, I'm probably gonna be living in Europe already, and they have different products over there, so I might try some like European brow products. I'm sure they have like the same brands as over here in the States, right? If you're from Europe, please let me know. If you're from Europe, let me know if I can find, first of all, I want to know if I can find this foundation over there, because this is my favorite foundation ever. I've been using it since 2016. I've been on and off, obviously, but it has always been the best one, like at least like on camera and stuff. I wanted to mention also my blush palette by Lunar Beauty. Honestly, this is the best palette ever. Like, it's so pigmented. It's like, I love it, and I have so many colors in one. But if you don't want to spend the money on this, I'm a blush person. I feel like the only thing, I'm a minimalist in every single area of my makeup except blush. I love blush. I love different types of blush. So these blushes by Essence, they're like $3 each, and they're so good. They're so pigmented. They last forever. I love them. And then the mascara that I used was this one, the Roller Lash. I never buy full-size mascaras, like full-price mascaras. During like Black Friday, holiday time, they always put like full-size mascaras, like high-end mascaras for like $10 at Ulta, so I stuck up, and this is the one I'm using right now, Roller Lash. I probably paid like $10 for this, and I'll show you. So after that one, I have the Anastasia one. I have the Superhero by It Cosmetics. I have the Buxom one, and then I have the Man Eater. I actually really like the Man Eater, and I like the Superhero mascara. I have not tried the Anastasia or the Buxom, but yeah. Tons of world building, not boring at all. I still don't know who has what power except for James and Lucy. So yeah, that's another thing. Like, I'm not like I don't know, obviously, like I know like Christopher, you know, he likes, you know, science and like experiments and stuff like that. I understand that, but at the same time, I feel like I still don't know off of the top of my head, like who has like magical powers and what are they, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I know that like Cordelia has like Cortana, and then James has like, you know, he can go to like the shadow world and all that. Lucy can like, you know, talk to the dead. I understand all that, but I still feel like as you guys can see, I cannot tell you like off the top of my head like who has what power, you know what I mean? So that's like one thing that I feel like maybe I wish I would have understood better. And then Alistair is a bully, and Thomas, like, that's another thing, Thomas. So that's why I said that I was not rooting for Alistair and Charles. I feel like I like Alistair and Thomas better. I don't know if that was like a hint that there was gonna be something going on, or I'm just making it up in my head, but I felt like at the end there was something going on there. Like, are we going towards like Thomas now instead of Charles? Because I don't like Charles, honestly. Like, I don't know how I feel about Charles. I was kind of upset that Ariane was gonna be broken up with, you know what I mean, last minute for no reason. I mean, for a reason, but like, you know what I mean? Like, I felt a little bit bad for her, so I'm so glad that we're gonna go towards like her and Anna. And then Grace and Christopher, I hope they fall in love. I don't know why. I feel like I don't see Charles and Anna, and I feel like I want Alistair and Thomas. So like the only people left are like Grace and Christopher, and I want them to be together. I feel like Matthew, he can also be with Grace, but at the same time, it's like, I know he don't like her, and like, you know, I feel like he might be into someone else that we don't know yet, because he feels like, we know that he's I'm assuming he's bisexual, so obviously it can be anybody. It can be anybody. So like, we know that there's like a secret going on, and he got some secrets going on, but like, we don't know who it is, and it can be anybody. So I'm here for it. Like I said, I love Matthew anyway, so I just wanted to make an update because I went to Second and Charles and I found it for $12.50. I checked out this book on Pango. I love it. And the cheapest was like $13 plus shipping. So I was like, let me see if I can find it at Second and Charles. And I did. I am so happy. Now I have all 3 of them. I really hope I can find like a good secondhand store like this one whenever we move. That's gonna suck if I have to like travel like hours away for me to find secondhand. I mean, I'm pretty sure wherever I live it's not gonna be a big town or anything, so I might have to travel to find secondhand books. But yeah. Soon he would be strong enough to take on his true enemies. As he turned to leave the alley, he whispered their names under his breath: James Herondale and Cornelia Castairs. Oh my God! Who is this? Is it Jesse? Because it looks like he woke up from the dead. But I don't know, it might be a demon. We'll see. Oh my gosh. How nice. Oh, let's go this way. Look at down there. The kids' library. I have read the first one. This looks like the new covers for Throne of Glass. Is it the same artist? Look who's here.
My favorite?
No. Mommy's favorite. I really think I want to take this one. I want to take this one. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, heck yes. Okay, I'm gonna put this one back. Espérate, I'm gonna take only this one. I think I'm gonna put this one back because the other 2 that I got are definitely at the top of my TBR. Look at this. Is this like a rainbow crayon?
Maybe a unicorn.
A unicorn?
Yeah, unicorn maybe a heart. I like that.
You like it? Said no one ever. Let me see if I can do like rainbow.
Just do it to the top. Top is better.
Nice.
I'm gonna put this.
Yeah, look at fail. I mean, it's looking better. Not less creepy, but better.
Okay.
Wow. I'm gonna throw this in the recycling. How cute are those chairs? love this library. Like, all the plants, it's just a vibe. It's a vibe. Like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? What? You guys, I am at the part where like James tells Cordelia that he kissed Grace. And now she's like, oh, I want a favor? What? I have to update you guys. I have not been updating you since I started the book. And I have a lot to say. So far it's a 4 stars, just like the first one. I'm not like obsessed like I was with like Daughter of the Moon Goddess or anything like that, but I am enjoying it a lot more than I was expecting, and I am enjoying the world building a lot, which I'm normally not a fan of. Maybe it's because I like the characters a lot and I want to know where they're at and everything. So I don't know, but I will give you an update soon after breakfast. I did not see that. I did not see that coming. What Matthew tells Cordelia in the last chapter, out of all the things, that wasn't it. I thought it was with James, not her. Wow. Just wow. I forgot that he was the one who, back then I couldn't keep up with the characters. I forgot he was the one who bumped into them in the whispering room. Like Cordelia and James. He was running away to Paris. When she thought that he was gonna propose. I definitely did not see this going this way. And I love Matthew, and now I'm like, what do I actually want on the 3rd book? You know what I mean? Like, what am I expecting? What team am I on? If there's even a team, clearly there's not. I'm just making it up in my head, but you never know. You never know, because I had no idea that this was gonna happen. And look at all that I went through. And then this happened, you know what I mean? I feel like at this point, anything can happen, so. I forgot that he knew about the bracelet. What if he's the villain? Oh my gosh, a letter. Okay, I'm not ready, all right. He sees them. Oh my gosh, I'm not ready. Okay, my battery is about to die, but I'm about to finish. So he was so close. So close. Oh my gosh. I can't believe that he didn't get on the train. I fucking hate Tatiana and the grandpa. Belial is his name? The epilogue though. I don't even know what to say. How could people have read this and waited for the third one to come out? Like, how can you end up this way and be like, okay, I can wait for this to come out. I can wait a year. I need to get to this now. I need to get to this now. Okay, so I wanted to like talk about the book and what I thought about it. So at first, they're going through like basically like James and Cordelia are like dealing with their marriage and kind of like getting not situated, but like getting a costume to like the new thing, and trying to keeping up appearances with their families and everything like that. So I kind of like that. I love seeing the dynamic between them. I love the whole like playing, like every time we play chess, if like whoever wins can ask somebody else a question, like the other person a question. Love that. I love that. I feel like throughout this book I really fell in love with James and Cordelia's friendship or like relationship, and I feel like I still like a little bit more romance than what's already in here. But for it to be a fantasy book about like sci-fi fantasy, I did not expect any romance at all. So like the fact that there's some romance in here, it's like, yes. While they're trying to like give us a little bit of an insight in their relationship, there's some murders going on and they're trying to figure out who it is. The whole time I thought it was Elias, Cordelia's dad, but then y'all know what happened and I was like, wait, what? You know? Oh, how they thought that James was doing. I low-key thought it was James for a second there too. I was like, wait, it kind of makes sense if it was James, especially like with his grandfather like being the way he is, you know what I mean? Like I was like, what if it's James? But then y'all know what they did when it comes to that, so it was kind of like proving that it wasn't him. And then with Thomas, I feel like I never really thought it was him. I kind of knew that it wasn't him. I feel like isn't that like what she wanted us to think, you know what I mean? She wanted us to know that it wasn't Thomas, you know what I mean? Like I don't know if Cassandra Clare tried to make us think that it was Thomas for a second there, but I personally never thought it was Thomas. I love how we kind of see Alistair's and Thomas' relationship also develop. We went from seeing Alistair not obsessed, but like being into Charles, and then how he changed his mind, and now like he's dealing with Thomas. The whole time I was waiting for Grace to like backstab someone, which I mean she did, but I feel like we already knew that she was, you know what I mean? Like it wasn't surprising like whenever she told James about what she was doing this whole time and everything, especially with like Matthew is like my favorite. I love Matthew more than James, but I feel like maybe Cordelia has talked too much about James for me to picture her with somebody else, you know what I mean? But like if in an ideal world, I feel like I would have Cordelia and Matthew, you know what I mean? And then that ending, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about, right? What? I did not expect him to like, I don't know, I feel like, what if Matthew like becomes a villain in the third book? And then the epilogue, the moment I heard that she saw like a second wound like bleeding, I was like, oh, not him. Oh, fuck. Can't he freaking die? I mean, we got two and we need three. We also have the whole situation with like Cortana and Cordelia and all that. I was a little bit confused about that for a second there. I was like, wait, what? So yeah, I am ready for this one. This one is thicker. I feel like this one is, let's see how many pages. 778 pages. This one was 654, so we have like a whole like 100 pages extra in this one. Look at the difference. Also, this one has like the illustrations that I told you guys about. I'm really excited about that, especially like finally like picturing the characters, even though I already looked for them on Pinterest. But I'm assuming this is Ariadne and Anna. Cute. This is like Will and Tessa. Is Tessa her name? These two. I think this is a spoiler, but I literally just told you guys about Grace and Christopher. I
I had seen this picture before, but I had not read any of the stories, like any of the books, so I didn't know who they were. Now I'm like, did I see that? Oh my, I knew it. I knew it. I knew they were gonna get closer. I knew they were gonna get closer. Isn't this also Grace? Right? I think this is Grace. Who is this? I think this is Cordelia, right? Because I know the one here is Cordelia. But isn't her hair like more red here? Like, is this Lucy? It is Lucy. And I'm assuming then this is Grace, right? Okay, so I'm at the part where Thomas is coming out to Matthew. And Matthew's like trying not to freak out because he mentioned Alistair, and we know, like, I know that I know about their history, but I feel like there must be something else that Matthew and Alistair have going on, because there's no way that Matthew hates him that passionately for no reason. Like, I mean, there is a reason, but like, is that it? You know what I mean? Like, anyways. Also, I forgot to update you guys on the fact that Cordelia found out that Matthew was drinking the whole time in Paris, which was very disappointing to say the least. I was definitely team Matthew, as you guys saw in the previous clip, but what a liar. You know what I mean? I mean, I get it, like, he's an alcoholic, but at the same time, it's like, why not own up to it? You know what I mean? Like, if you guys are gonna spend the rest of your life together, y'all need some honesty. You know what I mean? You guys are supposed to be like best friends, you know what I mean, for the rest of your life. So yeah, anyway. And also Cordelia is going through the whole, like, she has to make the decision because her mom told her that she's moving back home, and basically, like, she has to figure out whether or not she's gonna stay in London, which obviously right now she's like, she doesn't know what she's gonna do, because James has not confessed to her that Grace had him, like, you know, whatever, like, fooled, and was basically forcing him to fall for her. So because James has not confessed that yet, Cordelia still thinks that he was in love with her the whole time, and that he chose the house that he chose for Cordelia, which he has said multiple times that he chose with the intention of making it like Cordelia's home. Cordelia doesn't know that, so she thinks that, like, that's not even my home. He picked it because he knew he was going to be eventually married to Grace, and yeah, we're dealing with that. So I am freaking out a little bit, not gonna lie. I feel like I'm like really liking this book a little bit better than the first two. I feel like the first two were good, but because this one has been like built up throughout those first two, I feel like we're finally getting answers. We're finally getting like some action of the characters, like, you know, like closure, seeing where like they're gonna go, and like, it's just, I'm obsessed, you guys. I'm obsessed. I am on chapter 23, so I am like halfway through.
You guys, so much has happened that I don't even know. I just wanted to catch you guys up because last night I was reading before bed and I'm about to work out. So I was like, everyone's sleeping, it's quiet in the house. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you an update. I went through the part where Cordelia went to Chiswick? What's the name of that place? Chiswick Street? Chiswick House. So Cordelia went to Chiswick House to dig more information, but she didn't have Cortana. So then James came out of nowhere and was like, what are you doing, you crazy girl? And kind of saved her from a demon. I also went through the part where Tatiana took Christopher's brother and Grace. Like, did I not tell you that Grace and Christopher were gonna be endgame? I have a feeling they're still not together or anything, but she did show interest in the sense that like she's never met anyone like him and she likes that, and she's being able to be herself and he's okay with that. So she feels like he's the first person that she has felt that type of connection with naturally without her, you know, doing her voodoo on people. So we saw Tatiana take her brother, and then Grace was kind of like worried that Christopher was gonna start hating Grace, and then she was also worried about whenever like Christopher found out that she tricked James, Christopher was gonna hate her and she was gonna lose him. So I can see where they're going. I went through the part where Cordelia and James make up and they talk about what happened, and she's basically telling him that nobody is gonna feel sorry for him or have pity for him for what Grace did to him, and that he should open that to like the group of friends. He should be honest about what happened. And James was like so ashamed, but then Cordelia the baddie was like, that's just like the part of the beginning of her story, like it's a part of it, it's part of the history and we can't deny it. Like, she's just, you know, embracing the suck, like just it is what it is, it happened, it came out in the light, and now we're here. So they kind of made up, and it was a sex scene. It was the most PG rated sex scene I have ever read, but I really thought that we were only gonna get like kisses and making out in these, like in the whole series, because that's what we got in the first 2 books. So whenever they went into it, I was like, wait, I was waiting for like the end scene, but then it kept going. It was just not detailed like in a dirty way, you know what I mean? And then James was worried about the fact that they had to tell Matthew, like the fact that like his best friend is in love with his wife and even try to date her, and James is still like understanding, and like that gave me, you know how I was saying that I was kind of like team Matthew. I feel like in the last few chapters I have a little bit of like, you know, switched, because Matthew's dealing with too much at this moment. Like he does not need to add like Cordelia and all that drama in. He should focus on staying sober and recovering, and the fact that James is willing to look past everything that happened and even still like consider Matthew's feelings when it comes to like breaking the news that Cordelia and him are together. Like, what a great friend, honestly. Like James is, I really like him. I really like his personality and I really like the way he is and his values and his personality. Also, oh my gosh, I went through the part where like now everyone's questioning Tessa. I didn't read any of the previous series before this one, but I know that I'm assuming that reading like through this series and understanding like how important Will and Tessa are, I can tell that she did what she had to do to not be judged for being the daughter of Belial, is that how you pronounce it? You know what I'm talking about, like the bad guy. Like, why is everyone questioning? And Charles, I did not see that plot twist coming. Like, what? And then he's gonna be in charge. Oh my god, I can't. I'm stressing. And then the whole fight, I also went through like the whole fight with Lucy and Cordelia, and I saw them also like make up when like Cordelia stood up for Lucy and she was like, thank you, but then after that she went and hugged her. I literally almost cried. I almost cried at that scene. I was like, oh my god, I love their friendship. I love all of their friendships. I feel like it feels a little bit hypocritical for me to be like, oh, I love this group of people, because I don't know this story from the beginning, and I feel like a true fan will have read the whole thing. But like, honestly, I have no interest in reading the rest of the series. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm just gonna put it out there, because I feel like I already know what's gonna happen because I read this. So there are a lot of books, they're really long books, and the fact that I already know what's gonna happen is not gonna help. So I don't think I'm gonna read I think it's like the Mortal Instruments, or there's another series, but there's like a few series that come before this one. I might not. I might read the next ones. Like if Cassandra Clare releases more series in this world, I might read them, but like the previous ones, I feel like I already know everything. Like I have been too spoiled with these, you know what I mean? And I can tell that those books ended up like unanswered, like some of the answers were like left hanging, because I feel like here in this book, not this book, but like this whole series, I feel like a lot of the times I can see the characters answering questions they had from like previous situations that I have no idea about. So I'm assuming they're like situations from previous books. So yeah, anyways, I wanted to give you an update because I'm gonna work out, and after that I'm gonna read, and yeah. I'm gonna go through the albums that I got. The first one I got was Encanto. Obviously, I'm Hispanic, so this is one of my favorite Disney movies. Then I have Aurora by Desi Jones and the Six. This is the first one I'm gonna try out. And then I got Folklore. This is one of my favorites from Taylor Swift. I got Midnights by Taylor Swift. And then I got Humble Quest by Maren Morris. I was actually listening to this one in the car and I really liked it, so I feel like it's really nice for like the mornings, like while I make my coffee and I make like breakfast, you know. And then I got Avenged Sevenfold, and then I also got Avril Lavigne Let Go. So when I was in middle school, I used to have like a binder and I used to have like posters of her like in my locker. I was like a huge fan of hers. Her second album is my favorite, but they didn't have it, so I got this one, and this is a 20th anniversary edition, and it has B-sides and unreleased tracks. And then this one, which is one of my favorite albums. I used to listen to this one all the time when I was in high school. Right. Oh my goodness, it's a note from Taylor Jenkins Reid. Wow. That's so nice. I love that. Alright, let's see the other side. Oh, it's a poster? It's a poster. What? Christopher, I don't want to spoil this, but like I'm in the scene where Christopher is like in Anna's lap and Lucy's like asking questions, and then Anna said something. What? There's just no way. I'm not even gonna get too comfortable with the idea that that just happened. I will hope that Lucy's doing something about it, because I refuse to accept this for him. So it did happen. Like Lucy already said she can't do anything. I can't accept it. Like I'm like hoping that there's like some sort of miracle or something going on, because I just cannot. I'm just gonna think about the fact that I'm glad that Tatiana's gone, and just try to think about that and not Christopher. I am officially done. This was the longest. I feel like this series put me in a slump. I'm not even gonna lie. I feel like this is all I've read in March, which is so sad. Normally I read like 14 books in a month, so I have some thoughts. I'm gonna go over like the whole series first, and then let me take this off. I'm gonna go over the whole series first and then talk about the finale, like the ending of the whole series, because I have some thoughts. Okay, so first of all, we got Chain of Gold. This one, I feel like, obviously I was excited because it was my first time reading anything in the Shadowhunter series, and I was getting to know the characters, and I loved Cordelia, and I feel like it was entertaining. And maybe, I don't know how people that have basically been reading this series forever felt about this book, because I have not looked at any of the vlogs or anything or reviews or anything like that. I don't know if it was like repetitive for people that already read the like first series and stuff like that, but I feel like it was fast-paced in the sense that like there was a lot going on, and I feel like it was great. Like the length of the book was perfect. I was able to understand every single one of the characters, and even like Will and Tessa, like even though I don't know them from like previous series, I feel like I was able to understand like the impact that they have in this society or like this world. Obviously I bumped into some situations where I didn't know what they were talking about because I have not read the previous series, but yeah, I just feel like it was amazing. I gave it 4 stars. I went into this one very excited. This was probably my favorite one. I feel like we got a lot of like action. I feel like this one was more like getting to know them and like getting into the world and getting into the series, but then this one is the one that already had me like, once I went into this one I was already hooked, you know what I mean? So like I was more excited about it. I got more from the characters that I love, and I feel like it was perfect. I feel like this one was perfect. I still gave it 4 stars because I was not obsessed, but it was still, you know, like a higher 4-star than like this one. This one on the other hand, obviously I switched the cover like I said I was gonna do, because this is the best cover I've ever seen. Okay, not I've ever seen. Daughter of the Moon Goddess is still the best cover I've ever seen, but this is a really good cover, and like from all 3, this is definitely my favorite one. So I'm not gonna have Grace on it. If I can have James, okay, I won't. Talking about Grace, I feel like I had like a love-hate relationship with her throughout the whole series. Like obviously at first we hated her, and then like in the second book she came around, like or we came around like to liking her because we saw a different side of her. But I do feel like after Christopher passed away, I lost interest, because I feel like because I didn't care for her, the only thing that she had going for herself was her future relationship with Christopher. And I feel like him passing away, obviously like that storyline is like out the window, you know what I mean? So like I feel like I didn't really care for her. I'm gonna be honest with you. I did not. I don't hate her like I did like in the first book, but I still like I just don't feel anything for her. I don't feel anything negative, anything positive. She's just like whatever, you know? I feel like we did not get enough of Ari and Anna and Thomas and Alistair. I feel like, where was that? I feel like they loved each other or were like obsessed with each other because Cassandra Clare told me, not because I actually felt it, not because I saw it while I was reading it, or like there was any scenes. I mean, obviously they all had their cute moments, and I love like how with Ariadne and Anna we saw her basically like confront her parents and choose Anna, and you know, like I love that, but that was it. That was it. That's all we got. And then Alistair and Thomas, like we got nothing. We got nothing. Like we just saw again like them confess that they're into each other and like making out, and that's it. But like we didn't get like any special moments or any like we did, but like it just, again, it didn't hit the spot. It didn't feel like what I wanted from them. Like I wanted more. I wanted to feel it. I wanted to like be obsessed with them, you know what I mean? Okay, let's talk about James and Cordelia. Yes, we got like the scene that we all know, so that was good. But I feel like after that, like their relationship was like this, and then like they did it, and then it was like, you know what I mean? Or not even like down, it was just like flat. Like I feel like nothing else happened between them. Like okay, they were done, you know what I mean? Normally we get them together by the end of the book, and after they made up, it was like I wasn't excited about them like I was, you know, like throughout the whole series. Lucy and Jesse, obviously, like I wasn't like okay, I was excited about them like in this one. I was very into the relationship in this one. I really looked forward to it, and I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like this book, like, how do I explain it? I feel like even though it gave me everything I wanted, it didn't hit the spot like I thought it was. Like I just didn't, it took me like 12 days to finish this book. I feel like it was just not like gripping, and I don't know how to verbalize why, but I feel like the feeling of like, oh, I need to keep going, I want to know what happens, I want to, like that, wanting to know more. I didn't get that with this book, and I don't know how to explain why. I just feel like it was just okay. It was just okay. And then the ending, like I feel like after Belial took over London and everybody had to leave and then they stayed in, and like I feel like after that moment everything dragged. It just dragged. Like it felt like they were like trying to get to where Belial was for like 5 chapters, and then like if there was like things going on, that would be a different story. But like while they were walking there, like they weren't doing anything else. Like yeah, they might have like some encounters and stuff like that, but like not enough for me to not be like, okay, just go get Belial. Like we want to get James back, you know what I mean? Like I just feel like it didn't hit the spot. It didn't hit the spot, and I think I'm gonna rate it 3 stars. I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't what I wanted. It wasn't what I expected. Okay, it was what I wanted, but it didn't feel the way I thought it was gonna feel. So I am disappointed. So I don't even know how to criticize it because I don't really have any valid points. I just feel like there wasn't like also any plot, now that I think about it. Maybe that's why it didn't hit the spot. Like it got confusing after a while, and then like a lot of things didn't make sense. But then like even like the ending, like I thought we got rid of Belial, you know? So like why are we hearing from, you know what I mean? Like I feel like the ending was kind of random, and like I just don't know. I just feel like it just didn't hit the spot, and I'm very disappointed. And honestly, I had someone tell me in one of the comments, I think like in my 2023 TBR, I said that I wanted to read Cassandra Clare, and somebody commented that they read a few books from her and they had enough. That's exactly how I feel. I feel like I was gonna want to read like the Mortal Instruments series, the Infernal Devices, the other one that I don't know the name of. I know that this is like, you know, the one after Infernal Devices. So, and then the other one's like the main one. If you guys hear that, my husband's showering, and the shower is literally right like at the other side of it. Like I can feel it vibrating. As I was saying before my husband turned on the shower, I feel like at the end of the series I was gonna love them. Like especially after the first 2, I was like, there's no way I'm not gonna read the other ones. But honestly, I had enough. I don't think I want to read anymore in this like world. Like it's good, like it was good for a moment, but like I feel like this one did it for me. Like that was it. So yeah, that is it for this vlog. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next one.